good. You've got a festive apron there, and I've got a festive cooking bow on. I love it.
I have my Christmas necklaces on too.
We are ready for this Christmas cookie edition of Dishing with Sissy.
What was that in your hand?
A cookie scoop.
Oh, hey. I have one too.
So we're ready to scoop some cookies. So this week we had the poll. We did the poll to have everybody kind of decide what we were going to have as our featured ingredient in our cookie. And the ingredients that they could vote on were, we had cinnamon, something with cinnamon, like a snickerdoodle, sugar cookies, like your classic sugar cookie. We could decorate it. Truth be told, I'm really glad that one didn't win because I could not decorate a cookie.
No, that's a lot of work.
Peanut butter gave a strong showing. Butterscotch was this close to winning, but when everything was said and done and the flour was all brushed away, chocolate is what everybody wants this holiday season. So chocolate's what we're going to give them. We are doing chocolate Christmas cookies on this edition of Dishing with Sissy.
Yes, indeed.
So we're also going to do, because we decided to throw in a little something extra, because why not be extra? We're baking cookies with the theme of chocolate. But while they're baking, we're also doing a no-bake cookie. Now, does your no-bake cookie have chocolate?
No.
Okay.
It has peanut butter.
Oh, mine has chocolate and peanut butter.
Okay.
Ironically. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'm looking at your ingredients. I'm going, what is she making? What is she
got
making?
it all going on right here.
You've got a lot going on right there. And I usually have mine sitting out, but I didn't want to give it away. But that didn't give it away because you've got a little bit of everything there. So that was pretty good.
I was getting everything ready, and I thought I would clean it up and put something. I'm like, no, let's just go with this.
You know what? Because that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. All right. So you ready to get some Christmas cookies done?
Indeed. Hey. You're so funny. It's probably the same one too, same size and everything.
I wouldn't doubt it in the least.
Welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome back to Dishing with Sissy. And thank you so much for watching. Today we are doing Christmas cookies. We're doing a no-bake and then a chocolate. So I'm going to do my no-bake first because they need to refrigerate for at least 30 minutes before you devour them. Pretty easy. I have 1 cup of quick oats here in this bowl, a pinch of sea salt, and you know what? I fibbed. Sissy asked me if my my no-bake cookie had chocolate, and it does actually have chocolate. So this is a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Normally, our favorite cookies are oatmeal raisin, peanut butter cookies, and chocolate chip cookies. So I'm combining the oatmeal and the peanut butter in my no-bake, and I'm gonna make my favorite cookie is the original Toll House cookie from the chocolate chip package. So I'll make those later. But anyway, so 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So you just combine everything in a bowl, and I have here a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. And these are the semi-sweet morsels. I'm gonna mix this up and until it's all combined, and then we're just gonna make some little balls and put them in the refrigerator for 30 minutes while I make my chocolate chip cookies chocolate chip pecan cookies.
Chocolate lovers, you're the winners. We are featuring chocolate in our Christmas cookies on this edition with Sissy. We have one baked cookie that's going to feature the chocolate, which is the ingredient that you guys picked for us to use. And then we're also doing a no-bake cookie. I have some family favorites here, of course, traditions. My chocolate cookie that I'm making based on the chocolate lovers poll is going to be a white chocolate chip macadamia nut cranberry Christmas cookie. My dad loved the white chocolate and macadamia nuts. I used to send him some often, and I just felt like I wanted to honor him with this tradition. And it's also one of the family favorites. For the no-bake cookie, we are doing an easy recipe which only has 3 ingredients: Ritz crackers, peanut butter, and melting chocolate. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's get started on our baking cookies. I need to take the macadamia nuts. I'm going to put them on this cookie sheet, which I have some parchment paper. I'm going to just pop them in the oven, which is preheating to 350 right now. I just want to get them a little toasty, kind of brings out the flavor of the nuts. Always toast your nuts, people. Always toast your nuts. We're going to let those toast for about 5 minutes and get working on our wet ingredient. So the first thing we're going to do is take about 3/4 of a cup of butter. So 3/4. It's nice and soft, been sitting out for a hot minute today. 3/4 of a cup of butter. I have 1 cup of dark brown sugar. Put that in there. And I have a 1/2 cup of white sugar. So I'm just going to toss these in here, and I'm going to let them go until they beat together and become very creamy and you can't taste the granules of sugar. So we're going to get it started on a slow, and then we'll pick it up a little bit until it gets all blended into a creamy mixture.
Hi. So I got this all mixed up. It's 1 cup of oats, 1/2 cup of peanut butter, a tablespoon of maple syrup. I actually used just some butter flavored pancake syrup, 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla, and a pinch of sea salt. It appears to me that these are going to be very rich. I've never made these before, and you're just going to make some little balls with it, put them on some wax paper on a cookie sheet. So I'm just going to continue making these balls until I have it all done. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or until we're done here. And then I'm going to come back and we'll start making chocolate chip pecan cookies.
All right, let's see what we got. This has been going for about 4 minutes, and the macadamia nuts are all toasted and they've come out of the oven, and they're sitting over here, and they're just waiting in great anticipation, I'm sure, to be added to this delicious cookie mix. Okay, it looks like the sugars and the butters are all mixed up. I'm going to add in the 1 large egg, which has been sitting and is at room temperature, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Really trusted myself on that, not to crack it in a bowl and crack it right into the mix. Okay, 1 large egg. About a teaspoon of vanilla. Crank this up a little bit. It just smells so good. I love baking. I love the smells. I like the way my house smells at Christmas time. All right, let's put all this down in here. We've got all of that mixed up. We're going to add 2 1/4 cup of flour. We're going to put it right in this mix. I also have already measured out 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to just add that in and get to mixing this all up.
I got the mixer here.
because my hands are weak these days, I like to use the mixer to make cookies. I'm following the original recipe on the chocolate chip package because it is really, to me, it's the best. 3/4 a cup each of brown sugar and white sugar. So that's going to go in there. And then we have 2 sticks of butter that are room temperature, softened butter. You don't want it too soft because then the fat kind of melts down. Just room temperature. All right, so we're going to cream the sugars and the butter together until it's somewhat smooth. I've also got some vanilla here. This is mixing up nice. I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in there. And turn this up just a little bit. The sugars and the butter are creamed together nice. You're going to add 2 eggs, one at a time, while it's mixing. Turn this back up a little bit, let it mix all together. Got my wooden spoon handy. I'm going to do the final mixing by hand.
All right, I've taken it off the stand mixer and I did a little bit by hand just to make sure that everything was well combined. Get everything down at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of white chocolate chips. We've got, maybe a 1/2 cup to 2/3 of a cup, however many you want to put in, of dried cranberries, which is going to give this a beautiful Christmassy red color. And of course, our toasted macadamia nuts. This is about 1 cup. We're going to toss everything right in there. I'm going to put this parchment paper back down because I like to use parchment paper when I cook cookies. I think it makes them bake a little bit more evenly and helps prevent some browning on the bottom. So we're just going to mix all of this up. Our cookie dough is mixed up. All I have to do now is put them on the cookie sheet. Now you can take a regular teaspoon and kind of make a round, like 2 teaspoons each for a regular medium-sized cookie. 3 teaspoons if you want like maybe a bigger cookie. I'm just going to use the cookie scoop, put them out here, toss them in a 350 oven for about, I'm going to check on them in about 9 minutes or so. All ovens vary. Mine tends to cook very quickly. I want to make sure that they don't get too brown too fast. So we're just going to scoop these out, plop them down. Now, while I'm doing this, behind me, I have a double boiler going, and I've put some melting chocolate in the double boiler, and I'm going to use that for my no-bake cookie, and I'm going to get to that as soon as I finish getting this first batch in the oven.
So I added in the flour. We've got 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just mixing that in with the sugars and the butter. That is all incorporated. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, I'm going to turn the mixer off. I'm going to pull the beater out, and I'm going to scrape it off. I'm going to do the rest of the mixing by hand. That's adding in the chocolate chips and the pecans. And then we will start scooping them out to make the cookies.
Yummy. Our first batch is in the oven, and it's got just a few minutes to cook. I wanted to show you how to do these really fun no-bake cookies. Okay, really easy. I have a sleeve of Ritz. I have some peanut butter, your choice. You're just going to make like a little peanut butter sandwich cracker. I like to keep it a little bit thick. And you don't want to smash it on. You just kind of want to lay it there really nice. I like to do a couple of them at a time. I'm just going to make some quick sandwiches. Here's a trick that I didn't know before that I learned through the years. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these that I've just done in the freezer to flash freeze or cool down so the peanut butter gets a little stiff. I keep my peanut butter in the pantry, so it's a little, it's warm and easy to use. But when you do that and you put it in hot melted chocolate, it tends to make a gooey mess. So if you just toss these in the freezer for a good, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, I'm going to toss them in, check on when the first batch is done, and I should be able to just go back and forth and make these as I turn out the ones, turn them over in the oven. I should be able to do the same thing for the no bake. So I'm going to put these in the freezer to get them a little bit cold, and I'm going to get the first batch out of the oven.
Okay, so I took the bowl off of the mixer, and I'm going to fold in the pecans and the chocolate chips by hand. We're going to do 2 cups of the chocolate chips and 1 cup of chopped pecans. I'm just going to fold this in until it's all mixed. And the oven is preheating. I like to refrigerate this for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, just to let the butter get back a little bit firmer and so it's not all smushy. If you get runny cookies, that could be the reason why your butter is too soft, melty instead of just softened. So I'm going to mix this up, put it in the fridge for 10-15 minutes, then we'll come back and make the cookies.
Yum. These are fresh out of the oven. Now they did take about, I put them in initially for 9 minutes and then I added another 3. They need to sit here for about 5 minutes. They're going to harden up a little bit on the pan. Then I'm going to transfer them over to the cooling rack and I put another batch in. While those are cooking and we're transitioning these, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, the little peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter Ritz sandwiches, were in the freezer the whole time I did this whole transition. So they're nice and cool and they are firm. I have my melting chocolate here, which has been melting over a double boiler. Now, I get this, it does come in these little microwavable trays. I found that these are more work than need be. It's easy to put it in a double boiler, and you have more control over the chocolate, the consistency, the melting, and so forth. So just a personal preference, but hey, if you want to use the microwave, it comes in an easy microwavable container. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to take your little sandwiches, you're going to toss them in here, you're going to coat them in this chocolate until they are fabulous, chocolatey, and delicious. You're going to put them back in this tray, and it's going to go back in the freezer. And that's all. And I'll tell you what, this is a really, albeit messy one, it's a fun one to do with the kids. All kids love crackers. Most like peanut butter, if there's no food allergies, and chocolate. So, again, this is one that your kids could actually make for you. And they're so easy, even if they wanted to just make, if they're sitting around on a Friday night, like, oh, I want some cookies or I want something sweet, whip up a batch of the old Ritz chocolate peanut butter cookies because they will become, very quickly will become a family favorite. I'm going to finish these up and I'm going to get these cookies on the cooling tray.
I've got this scoop here. It says to use a tablespoon measure. I think this is a little bit more, but that's all right. We're going to just measure these out, scoop them down, and these make really perfect shaped, perfect size cookies. I'm going to get 12 on the sheet. Bake them for 9 to 11 minutes until they're done. And they have to cool for a few minutes on the cookie sheet, and then you put them on a rack to continue cooling. And then you devour them.
So our no-bake cookies are in the freezer, getting nice and chilled. And we've got more of our white chocolate chip macadamia cranberry cookies in the oven. I just wanted to show you how these are They're nice, so they're a little bit crispy on the outside, but they're still nice and chewy on the inside. Chock full of yumminess. Those are really good cookies. Tell me what you've got going on there.
Well, I've got some peanut butter chocolate chip. I misspoke when you asked me if my no bakes had chocolate. They do. They have chocolate chips. Peanut butter, oatmeal, chocolate chip balls.
Okay. Yummy.
Yes. And also,
and you know what? The oats and the peanut butter, that's good for you. That's a good kid snack when they come home from school.
It's like a protein bite. I also have the original Toll House cookie, chocolate chip pecan.
Okay.
Cookies. Yes.
Now, were pecans in the original Toll House cookie?
It says nuts.
Okay.
I suppose you can put whatever kind of nuts you like.
Mom used to use walnuts all the time. I thought it was written in stone, like it had to be put in there because she put them in everything. How are they? Are they delicious?
They're very good.
Yeah, they look very good.
Very good.
Mm-mm.
What have you got?
Okay, so my bake cookie I did was the white chocolate chip macadamia nut cranberry cookie.
Oh,
it's a very Christmassy because it's got the cranberries, got that red in it, and they're just delicious. And I like these because if you take a look, like they don't spread. They pretty much keep their shape when they bake up. So these are nice and crunchy. I don't know if you can hear it, but
okay.
So they're crunchy on the outside and they're so moist chewy on the inside. And these are Ritz crackers with peanut butter. So peanut butter Ritz cracker, like peanut butter sandwiches, and then you dip them in the chocolate.
Oh, no.
They are my boys' most favorite, and they're so easy to make. And I just left them sit in the refrigerator until I was done. Let me see if I can crack one. They're hard. I don't want to break it open. Hold on, let me get a knife.
Just break it open, Sissy.
This is what they look like inside.
Oh.
And they're just Ritz peanut butter and chocolate, but it's so good.
The other two favorite cookies in our household are oatmeal cookies, of course, and peanut butter cookies. So this has a little bit of all of those in there. These little yummy balls. Let me try one. Oh, yeah, that's delicious.